All right, what's up, everybody? Look, I want to give you an update on Solana because its price is making some pretty interesting moves. Now, looking at Solana here, what you all can see is that its price is doing pretty much exactly what we've been saying it would. I told you all that while we're in a descending channel, we're going to see moments in which Solana's price hits these key levels of liquidity, uses them as support, and attempts to break to the upside. I said that inevitably we will see the price of Solana break to the upside about 80 to 90% of the time, and so I am rather confident that that is eventually what's going to happen. And as a result of knowing that we will eventually break to the upside most of the time, I've actually told you that I would be doing some DCAing anytime we hit these key levels of support. The first one being around the $77 to $74 zone, the next one being around the $64 zone, and then the final one being around this $53 zone if for some reason we do get that low. And what you can see here is that after we did this first buy, once we hit this zone just a couple days ago, Solana's price has made a beautiful move to the upside. You can see here that its price has made a nice little move of roughly about 15% to the upside since then, and I actually do know a few of you from the Discord and my Patreon in the comments that are using Margex, and you actually have just been entering into some long leverage trades on these key levels of liquidity, taking profits around the top side of this channel. And that's an amazing strategy. I like the strategy, and you're up probably 40 to 50%. So congratulations. Now, if you do want to trade yourself, go down to the Margex link down below. You're going to get a couple $100s of a deposit bonus. You don't have to KYC, meaning you don't have to give them your personal information. You don't need a VPN from anywhere in the world. You can just deposit, get your trading bonus, and start trading just that easy and withdraw with almost no issues. And so because of that in mind, again, I think they're the best trading platform in the world. So go check them out down in the links below. Let me know when you sign up. But as I mentioned before, yes, Solana is doing pretty similarly to exactly what we said was going to happen. So let's talk about what happens now that we are all caught up. So looking at Solana here, one of two things is going to happen, and they're very obvious. Okay, I'm going to state the obvious here, so be prepared. We're either going to see Solana's price break to the upside of this descending channel, or we're going to see it get rejected off of it. I know that's breaking news, that's shocking, but that's the two things that's going to happen. Let me tell you what I would do in either situation, because remember, my goal is to not be right. My goal is to not feed my own ego by making sure I call everything perfectly. It's by making sure you are as prepared as possible so you can make as much money as possible, okay? And so the way in which I'm going about this is I'm saying this. If Solana's price is capable of breaking to the upside of this descending channel, on a macro perspective, we are now in a position in which we should start to look for continuation to the upside, or at least a sideways consolidation before that move to the upside. That's normally what happens. And so as a result of that, I am going to do a small dollar cost average on that breakout, but nothing major, because we do still have this major level of resistance around $100 that will be a bit of a task to clear. Okay, so I'm not going to do any big buys on Solana until we break towards this, or break above that $100 level. So that's pretty much all I'm doing. Little DCA here, bigger, way bigger DCA once we finally are able to clear this level, because again, I may have some better times to buy. We might, break out, pull back, come up, pull back, and I might be able to DCA on some of these lower levels. That's why I'm not going to go crazy right here unless we break $100 immediately, which will be difficult. Now, if Solana's price does not break to the upside, the strategy I'm implementing stays the same. I dollar cost average every time we hit a key level of support until we break through this resistance. And so if we pull back towards $77, I'm going to dollar cost average in again, because there are times in which we will see these descending structures play out, in which Solana's price will break down and bounce and down and bounce and down and bounce until it eventually breaks to the upside, right? And so on this key level of liquidity, I am going to dollar cost average again. Even though I did DCA here, I'm going to DCA again here, because again, at some given point, we should get this break to the upside, especially when we're seeing something like your daily RSI already below that 50% threshold, especially when you're seeing something like your MACD also in its negative threshold and seemingly wanting to converge. You can see on multiple occasions it's wanted to converge. It's just not had the right market conditions. With all of these things in mind and knowing those things, I am going to continue to dollar cost average every single time we hit one of these key levels of liquidity, because again, the likelihood is at some point we're making that move to the upside, and then it opens up a huge door of opportunity. So with that in mind, it's a win-win in my opinion. I either get to buy a little bit soon, or I get to buy a little bit soon. And so with that, obviously, I know it's not the most action-packed thing, but what I want you to pay attention to right now is, do we break this resistance or do we get rejected? Because that is going to be the determining factor of where Solana's price likely goes for at least 2 to 3 weeks. So I will continue to update you as this play out. If you want to see the things I'm buying, my portfolios, exclusive content, and much more, go check out the links down below. I do have a Patreon. If you also are interested in degen plays, we have HD access, which is printing gains like crazy. We had 200% gains just yesterday, so go check that out. And then lastly, again, if you want to use Margex to do any of your own trading, you can use my link down below and get a couple $100s of a deposit bonus when you sign up. So with that in mind, of course, I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.